Kourtney heartbreaking reason for divorce with Travis Barker. The Kardashian-Jenner clan is no stranger to high-profile relationships and breakups playing out in the public eye. But perhaps one of the most heartbreaking sagas in the family's history was the demise of Kourtney Kardashian and Scott Disick's 9-year romance. The once golden couple split in 2015 left fans devastated, wondering what could have possibly torn them apart after building a family together. But before we continue, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell for more updates. Now, years later, the true reasons behind Kourtney and Scott's divorce have finally come to light. And the truth is far more complex and tragic than anyone could have imagined. Through exclusive interviews with close friends of the former lovebirds, a picture emerges of a relationship plagued by Scott's debilitating struggles with addiction, fundamentally different visions for the future, and a disturbing pattern of mistrust and toxicity that ultimately proved insurmountable. The downward spiral. By all accounts, Scott Disick's descent into alcohol abuse and partying was the primary catalyst that drove a wedge between him and Kourtney. Those close to the couple reported that Scott's drinking often resulted in loud, public arguments and fights that took a severe emotional toll on Kourtney. Scott's drinking was just out of control for so long, a mutual friend shared. Kourtney would be in tears after these big blow-ups where he was just wasted out of his mind. It was humiliating for her, and she was at her wits' end trying to get him to change. Indeed, Scott's substance abuse issues were so severe that he was compelled to check into rehab not once, but twice during his relationship with Kourtney. However, these attempts at rehabilitation often came too late, as the damage to the foundation of trust in the relationship had already been done. By the time Scott would go to treatment, the trust was already so broken between them, the friend lamented. Kourtney had seen him make all these promises to get better, only to watch him fall right back into those destructive patterns. She just couldn't take it anymore. Incompatible life visions. Beyond Scott's personal demons, sources close to the couple also cite their fundamentally misaligned visions for the future as a key factor in their split. While Kourtney was ready to fully embrace the role of a devoted, stable family woman, Scott was still very much attached to the trappings of his bachelor lifestyle. Kourtney was at a point where she just wanted to settle down, have a quiet life with the kids, and focus on raising their family, the friend explained. But Scott, he still wanted to party, travel, and maintain this whole playboy image. Those differences in what they wanted out of life just became impossible to reconcile. This clash of priorities created constant tension, as Scott's unwillingness to let go of his carefree ways put a major strain on his relationship with Kourtney. Ultimately, their inability to get on the same page about the direction of their life together proved to be the nail in the coffin. Kourtney was beyond patient and tried so hard to get Scott to be the partner and father she knew he could be, the friend lamented. But he just couldn't commit to that domestic family life that she craved. And she knew she deserved better than that. A toxic cycle. Perhaps most heartbreaking of all, insiders reveal that Kourtney and Scott's relationship had become so irrevocably damaged by a pattern of mistrust and resentment that it became nearly impossible for them to find their way back to each other, even for the sake of their 3 young children. It was just this vicious cycle that they could never escape, the friend said sorrowfully. Scott would hurt Kourtney with his behavior. She'd pull away. He'd freak out and make grand gestures to win her back, and then he'd inevitably fall off the wagon again. It was so toxic and draining for both of them. Ultimately, the sources close to Kourtney and Scott agree that the couple's inability to break free of this unhealthy dynamic, combined with their fundamental incompatibility, left them with no choice but to go their separate ways. As difficult as the decision was, particularly with young kids involved, they conclude that it was the only way for both Kourtney and Scott to find the peace and fulfillment they deserved. It's such a heartbreaking situation, because you can see how much they loved each other, the friend reflected. But sometimes, no matter how much you want to, you just can't fix what's irreparably broken. And that's what happened with Kourtney and Scott. While the demise of Kourtney and Scott's relationship may have been painful for fans to witness, the raw truth behind their divorce serves as a sobering reminder that even the most picture-perfect partnerships can crumble in the face of unresolved personal struggles and irreconcilable differences. Their story is a tragic one, but perhaps also a cautionary tale about the importance of honest self-reflection, open communication, and the courage to walk away when a relationship has truly run its course.